Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer is here, ready to start a 360 tarot reading, and be very welcome to the channel once again. Your support is greatly appreciated. I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings and emotions, and I wish you a whole bunch of individuality, creativity and responsibility. And I also want you to remember always that the best way to be is to be your goddamn self. So, here we are, ready to start a 360 tarot reading. And if you don't know what is a 360 tarot reading, I'll do a brief explanation to you so you can understand, and if you guys are familiar to the channel, for you guys to remember the blueprint of this reading. So this reading is about the next moon quarter or the next week, which starts at the 2nd of April and will go... Oh, my bad guys, I just realized I made a mistake in my thumbnail. I can change that later, or I can change that now. Hold on. My bad. I realize now that I messed up with the dates. No, actually, hold on, I can see clearly. Let me check here on the place that I used. Oh yes, it's wrong. Hold on guys. Okay. Hold on a second. I'll be done in a minute. Alright guys, while we are at it, remember that the tarot reading is about your 12 houses, the 12 areas of your life, right? And that we have a house in the middle that represents the spirit of the being that we are living in right now. By the way, we have a new video on the channel talking about that. It's the video is called Why Is It the First House? It's a very interesting video. Go and check that out if you haven't yet. Alright, now we have the correct thumbnail. If I'm not mistaken, I cannot see very well over here. Let me change something here. Oh, you can see very well on the computer, at least here on my screen. But let's get going. My bad guys. It was a delayed start. Oh, hold on, I don't have the chat over here. Let's go. Live chat. Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. How are you guys doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have everything ready, guys. And let's go. So the first card, as you know, represents the state of being of the spirit that we live in right now, because as you have spirits and other beings with less awareness living inside of you, we also live inside of a being, of a spirit, but many of us are already more wise than the spirit that we live in right now, so we are looking for some expansion and to fulfill our higher purposes. Let's go. This reading will tell you how those bigger influences will affect everybody's, in general, 1st to 12th house, the different specific areas of your life. And as we pass through the houses, I will be explaining to you what each house means if you don't know yet. But first we'll take a card for the middle, which represents the spiritual space. Let's go. And we have Judgment Pluto. So this means transformation, deep transformation. Oh, that's not the one. Here we go. Pluto in the middle, Judgment. So this means that you will be in contact with your deep desires, deep fears, deep senses of purpose, motivation, fulfillment, safety, privacy, and spiritual expansion and spiritual fulfillment. All right, getting the right experiences, getting deep enough experiences, juicy experiences that makes your feelings and your perspectives meaningful and important to you and to the things that you value and the experiences that you value and the emotional states that you value as well. And all of that will be your true focus for this next moon quarter, and you have to transform yourself to adjust to our new self, which is not really new as in spiritually, but it's new here in the physical world, in the mental slash physical realm, because you are now being aware of deeper, more meaningful parts of yourself. So you have to transform yourself and things around you, but things that are very close to you, right? Things that are important to you or that are impactful to you, or you are impactful on them, on those things or people or places or relationships. You have to perhaps allow yourself to be transformed while you observing, while you are reading the flow as well, while you participating and being responsible, so you can be this new, deeper, more meaningful, more wiser, and more satisfied, spiritually speaking, self. All right? So it's a very deep transformation, but in the end, it's a great treasures, spiritually speaking, and emotionally speaking as well. Let's see how this energy affects the first house, the personality, personal insecurities, and personal interests of the spirit of the being that we live right now, and in general for our world. Okay, some feminine cards are flipping in the deck, but no real card is coming out. Then you have to check the quality of the mic. Some cards bump into it, and sometimes it perturbs the connection. Come on. This first card is taking some time, so it's going to be a week with a deep personal meaning in general. Just let me just check the quality of the stream real quick. First card is taking some time, so it's going to be a week with a deep personal. Okay, we're good. We're very good. Alright, let's continue. So, the card that came out for the first house is Reversed Queen of Wands. Let's put it on the screen and talk about it. So this is actually a good card because the first house is a fire house. It's the cardinal fire house. So this is the fixed fire. So we'll have a stronger sense of consistency, stubbornness, support, strength, and confidence in that area of our lives. But it's reversed, so we might be misunderstanding, misjudging, or misusing this fixed sense of spirituality, creativity, enthusiasm, excitement, and powerful intentions, visions, actions, expressions, and desires. But if you play your cards well, if you plant your seeds well, you can manifest support, consistency, and even others seeing you, because it is fire, right? Others seeing you as a good example of somebody that is spiritual but got his things, his mentalities and emotions in the right places. Okay, being seen as a wise spirit that can be exciting, can be excited, and can make others excited and inspired as well. Let's go. Let's move on. So you can be seen like that if you use correctly, if you stop the misunderstanding on how to use correctly your fixed fire energy, as in, because it's the Queen of Wands, my bad, as in receiving that as an inspiration, receiving great spiritual support as an inspiration, vision, entertainment, or validation. And you might misuse, misjudge, or misunderstand what you're doing, how you're doing, or the attention that you are receiving, or the validation that you are receiving. You might misunderstand that, misuse, or misjudge. Just to be clear, let's go. The moon is in Virgo, by the way, right now, so we want to be clear. Let's go. Let's move into the second house. How will the energy of Pluto, the energy of judgment, transformation, deep, meaningful transformation, deep, powerful transformation, will affect the second house of the spirit that we live in right now, aka our space, our 360, our solar system. The values, the safety, the gifts, the talents, the resources that we got to offer to each other to build something together, and how we value others' resources as well. Let's go. We have a card coming out. And it is Ace of Pentacles. Nice. Nice card. Earth energy on the Earth house. And it's an ace. So it's a unique, powerful, individual, original, new, inspiring way of being, having, or feeling safety, security, profit, organization, stability, limits, boundaries, sustainability, and the ability to provide for yourself and the things that you care about. So it might be on your values, it might be on somebody else's values, it might be on your ability to recognize somebody else's values and then support that or participate in that, but it will be you being unique or participating, valuing something that is unique, or somebody valuing you, somebody valuing your talents and resources because they think or feel that them or others can see /be /use that in a unique, powerful way of having stability and security, profit and organization in your life. Let's not be too detailed as well. I know the moon is in Virgo, but too much detail also then gets not feasible. So let's drink some water, let's chill and move to the third house. So, the energy of Pluto, judgment and transformation, will affect our third house, or the world's third house, the house of very distant friendships, associations, people in your surroundings, familiar places, externally speaking, or familiar mental places as well. It's a bit normal that the cards are taking some time to come out because of that Pluto. It's a very deep energy, so these cards are more like they spend more time before popping out, you know what I'm saying? Because they quote unquote need to come from deeper places, so they take a bit more time to travel than usual. That's my logical explanation for some spiritual shit. Let's go. Oh, got it. And it is the Chariot, Cancer, Cardinal Water. Alright, interesting. Let's go. Chariot in the 3rd house. So that means that in your surroundings, you or other people, places and things in your surroundings will be creating new ways to travel, to expand internally and emotionally. That means that you or people, places and things in your surroundings, or about people, places and things in your surroundings, will be creating more, deeper and more meaningful connections, emotions, feelings, senses of attachment, safety and privacy, and new ways to travel internally within your surroundings. All right, so you or somebody that you know and that you share your surroundings might get too attached to something. They might care too much for something that is not real important, that is not really like meaningful, but they might associate a lot of new meanings to that, only to, after this moon quarter, realize that that thing wasn't even that meaningful or important, and that they or you shouldn't have cared so much about those things in your surroundings, because you have more important things happening within you with that Pluto energy of transformation. The world is transforming and you got more important things to deal within you than to be very worried and caring and creating new emotions and feelings about your surroundings, because you are already doing that internally, deeply, right? So let's move into the 4th house, the house of privacy, safety, emotionally speaking, and creating new emotions, new feelings, new senses of attachment and spiritual fulfillment, expansion, meanings, reasons, and spiritual, internally, emotional purposes. Alright, we got one card. Okay, it's the 3 of Pentacles. So in this more private area of your life, your house, your home, physically and spiritually, you're gonna be aware of new things, or complete an awareness that you were already building about stability, safety, structure, sustainability, or like you will receive some information or some like perspective or like a goal that you have to obtain, or that you have to maintain in order to maintain that connection, attachment, and emotional safety and security. All right, because the world is transforming and you need to be aware of your surroundings. Physically speaking, you need to be aware of your physical circumstances, of your ways to be safe and stable, so you can allow to transform yourself and your deep businesses, while externally speaking you got everything covered and you know that you might change and you might transform and you might go through some things, spiritually speaking, because you have, physically speaking, everything planned out and you are aware of things. You know what I'm saying? So let's move to the 5th house. The house of entertainment, attention, validation, and being fixed on your visions, feelings, imaginations, and concepts of spirituality and morality. And you have already a card, real fast, the Ace of Wands, in reverse though. So this means that you'll be, or there is more possibilities, because this reading is about the general influences hitting everybody, so it's easier for you to follow the paths of these tarot cards, right? So there is something that you are paying attention to, or there is something that you are receiving attention from or because of that, right? That is unique, powerful, new, original, and spiritual, but you or somebody giving you attention is misunderstanding, misjudging, or misusing that attention, validation, or fixed and consistent or stubborn expressions, actions, and visions. So you might be misunderstanding the uniqueness of something that you are paying attention to, or somebody that is paying attention to you is misunderstanding you and not realizing how unique you are. Or they might realize that you are unique, but they might think that you are unique in an area and you're actually unique in another area. And you need to clear those misunderstandings, or kind of wait, like play your part, and then have faith that the other part will clear the misunderstandings on their part. Because everybody, you and others, are transforming deeply. You know what I'm saying? So it's normal that misunderstandings might happen in this area of our lives. Let's go into the 6th house. The house of organization, routines, pattern, work, health, and the ability to be mutable and adaptable with your physical circumstances and physical thought process and practical communications. And we have the reversed 4 of Swords. Let's put that on the screen and talk about it. Alright, reversed 4 of Swords in the 6th house means that there is more likelihood, it's more probable that you and people around you in that area of your life, work, routine, patterns, health and organization, practical conversations, practical relationships, there is more probability that you and others in that area of your life are misusing, misjudging, or misunderstanding a reason or a way to overthink, overcommunicate, overanalyze too much and don't care about the emotion, the feeling, and the ambient enough. So you might be too masculine, you might be too talkative, you might be too pensive, or others around you might be too talkative, too pensive, too straight, try to put everything in a box that is too straight, and you or them with, or you with them are participating in a broader project, in a broader workspace, in a broader objective, and thinking too much about details, thinking too much about organization, or not thinking too much, or not just that, but having a very superficial, logical goal or intention behind it might make you and others misunderstand the work, the co-workers, the boss, the goal, the purpose, and the routine, and the things that were already done or already compromised with about those goals, those projects, or that workspace. And that might be you referring to your system, your internal system, your workspace as a spirit, your creation, space, your forge, right? You might be misunderstanding that because everybody and the world is transforming deeply. So you might be trying to understand that too logically, too externally, and trying to find examples in the real world, like in the third house with that Cancer, trying to come up with too many spiritual and emotional reasons and meanings behind things in your surroundings, and you might be trying to be too logical about your routines, patterns, works, and things that you have been building so far, because you are transforming, okay? You are, so these things might or not transform, but it all depends on you. You are responsible for that. How you handle your transformation will affect how your life, your 12th houses, transform. Let's move to the 7th house. Let me just check the quality of the stream once again. Perfect, let's go. So, moving into the 7th house, how will the energy of Pluto, judgment, deep transformation, how will affect the ability to create new relationships and new ways to think, communicate, and analyze in more sophisticated, balanced, fair, and just ways, and your relationships, friendships, and networking in general. Remember that you can get one reading like this for yourself about your own spirit, because in this reading I'm focusing on the spirit of the being that we live in right now, right? As you have beings and spirits within you, we are inside of another space, of another spirit, so you can have a reading for yourself focusing on your own spirit and your own 12th houses for the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next month. Then we conversate and we get the best reading for you. Let's go. The card for the 7th house is the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords. Don't clash your swords too much. So this means that you or your relationships are paying too much attention, or they need to pay more attention and bring more power and control over their own mind, over their own thoughts, their own ideas, their own ways to analyze, conversate, and socialize in a more sophisticated, balanced, and fair way. So negatively, this can mean that you are putting too much pressure on your relationships, or your relationships are being too authoritarian on you, or you are creating new ways to think and communicate that lead you to those conclusions, or somebody in your relationships and friendships is creating new ways to think about you or the relationship, and they might reach the conclusion that you are being too stressful, too strict, or too authoritarian over them, or they might create new conclusions that they should be more authoritarian on you, or vice versa. You might create new conclusions that you have to be more authoritarian over them, but no, you have to be more authoritarian, you have to be more consistent and bring more attention, either internally and externally, to your own mind, to your own thoughts, to your own conversations and your own relationships. Moving on to the 8th house. How is the energy of Pluto and Judgment? affecting the 8th house, the space where the Scorpio constellation was born out of, and Scorpio is co-ruled by Pluto, so this moon quarter will be more familiar with the 8th house energy, with the Scorpio energy, deep emotions, deep feelings, getting fixated in emotions and feelings, transformally, internally, emotionally and spiritually, dealing with deep desires, deep emotions, deep feelings, deep senses of motivation, deep senses of frustration, deep senses of privacy, security, deep relationships, deep experiences, deep wisdom and knowledge that then you use to express and associate in the 9th house. If you have no meaningful experiences, you have no meaningful testimonies. And if you and then connecting to the 7th house, the house prior, if you don't have meaningful relationships, you don't have meaningful experiences. And if you don't have meaningful relationships, you don't have meaningful connections. And then if you don't have meaningful experiences and connections, you don't have meaningful testimonies, aka 9th house, the connection of you real. Are you real? Do you have real relationships? Do you have real experiences? And do you have real testimonies? Or are you just lost? Let's go. Is this an ad? No. Come on. Card. Come out. About the 8th house. Let's go. And it is the 7 of Cups. Nice. Some separation. Some refreshment. Some detachment. Alright, the 7 of Cups means that we are detaching, separating from old, deep, meaningful, intense, perhaps toxic emotions, feelings, relationships, desires, and deep senses or sources of pleasure, safety, privacy, and fulfillment. So this might be okay for you if you realize that it's good for you, or you might be so attached and you don't see the brighter green grass on the other side. You are focusing on what you're losing, or you were too attached to it, so separating from it might hurt. Even if you realize that's good for you to separate, it might still hurt. But if you are spirit, you realize it is good for you, and you will accept this separation, so you can find new and better deep desires, deep motivations, deep feelings, and deep emotions to be fixed about. And it's all about this deep transformation of Pluto in the spiritual house. Let's move on to the 9th house. The 9th house being the house of sharing, associating, being adaptable and mutable with your visions, creativity, spirituality, morality, testimonies, and ways to be, get, and also inspire others. To be inspired, get inspired, and inspire others. How the energy of Pluto, judgment, deep transformation is affecting the 9th house of the world. And we got reversed moon, reversed high priestess. Here we go. So this means that we are receiving a message, a vision, a wiser way to see ourselves, our emotions, feelings, and spirituality, but we are misunderstanding, misusing, or misjudging the environment, the experience, or the messenger which through this message is coming through. Or you might be misunderstanding the message at all. So the message is right. for you, but you might be misunderstanding it, or misunderstanding the feeling, the vision. Maybe your morality does not you receive this message clearly, or accept it, or use it, right? You might not be able to use it because you feel confined by your spiritual environment. And you gotta transform deeply in order to clear this misunderstanding and receive this high message that is coming from deep within you. So that deep transformation, that deep burning inside of you, is creating some fumes, some sparks, some things that are rising up as they get lighter, as they transform, and that will ease the new messages. And you are being the high priestess. You are receiving, acting, feeling out those deep messages coming from deep within you because of that deep transformation. But your spiritual environment, your spiritual visions, and your morality visions might make you misunderstand this, or others around you are misunderstanding their own spiritual messages, and you have to deal with that because they are in your physical environment, aka the opposition of Sagittarius, Gemini, the third house. Gemini, the third house, physical surroundings, Sagittarius, ninth house, spiritual, visionary, creative, and like dealing with your beliefs system, surroundings, and environments. Let's move on to the 10th house. House of your business, your status, your deep, closed private associations and networking, and the ability to create new ways to have stability, structure, and success, profit in your life, in your own business, as in your activities. Not just like business as in financial and corporate. Oh, I feel some passion right now in this area. Let's go. That's good. That deep transformation is making you realize what's really important for you, so creating new scenarios to benefit and profit from that. Let's go. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think this is positive though. It's heavy. It's a lot of influence. It's a lot of things. But it's cardinal Earth. 10th house. So we can create new ways to deal with this. We can create new ways to be profitable, to make sense, to have structure and security out of this too much earth, too much pressure, too much stability, too much limits, too much boundaries, too much responsibilities. But with a lot of responsibilities comes with a lot of power and a lot of experiences. So then you might be able to create new ways to be or feel safe, secure, structured, profitable, and organized and efficient in this area of your life, because you are going through those deep transformations and you realize what's really important for you and for your spirit and for your true desires that you have to fulfill your purpose. And you can create a new way to go about it in a very real, responsible way. Or you can just feel that it's too much, you might procrastinate, feel too much pressured, and feel kind of suffocated from these physical circumstances that are being these new physical circumstances, or new ways to feel about physical circumstances that are coming from deep transformations within inside you. And with that being said, let's move on to the 11th house. House of mental, social associations, about knowledge, about knowing stuff, about facts, and about in actually a somewhat apparently opposite but really complementary part of it, the rebellion, the opposition, the newness, uniqueness, and originality in a consistent or stubborn but always looking for more efficient and broader uses of the mind way. Aquarius, let's go. The most logical and also humanitarian, caring sign. Let's go. And we have the 6 of Cups in reverse. And that makes sense. Very deep transformation, emotionally speaking, internally speaking, leads to misunderstanding. Oh, It's in the same spot that it was before. Nice. So here is you misunderstanding, misusing, or misjudging, all right, how you feel or actually do this tarot card, which is being fixed or bringing attention, power, and control to your own feelings, emotions, dreams, imaginations, spiritual purposes, and meanings behind your associations, science, knowledge, and just uniqueness and originality, right? So you might be perhaps paying too much attention to feelings and emotions of your associations, of your groupings, of your forums, of your conventions, of your business, or you might be feeling that somebody in that area is suffocating and pressing your emotions, feelings, dreams, illusions, and broader philosophical ways of viewing and reacting to the world. All right? Or you just need to bring more power and control, more consistency to your feelings about your associations, science, gaming, social media, and things like that. Or you just need to pay more attention to yourself than those things, because those things, social media, gaming, associating with others, might be making you misunderstand your deep emotions and feelings, or you might be misunderstanding them, because everybody is transforming deeply, right? So via internet, via videos, via chat, it's not easy to understand and relate those deep emotions and deep feelings that everybody's going through. Makes sense, right? So let's go for the last house of today, the 12th house, house of dreams, illusions and imaginations, feelings and emotions, spirituality that goes very deep, very wide, sometimes gets lost, mixed and mingled with things that are not very clear. But always very creative, very juicy, very resourceful, spiritually speaking, creatively speaking. And we got reversed 7 of Pentacles. So that means when it comes to your deep spirituality and spiritual associations and spiritual ships, we have more probability to separate, or feeling like we are separating from old ways of being real, practical, and organized about that, but it might be just a misunderstanding, misusing, and misjudging, because this also means that we are getting into new spaces and new perspectives in how to be real, organized, and structured about our spirituality and spiritual relationships. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it satisfied you and it's guiding you. Remember, deep spiritual and emotional transformation through this moon quarter. So uplift yourself, take care of yourself, and be the new you. And always remember, the best way to be is to be your goddamn self. As a Tarot Cloud Surfer, surfing out. See you soon.